Why Cowboys Sleep with Their Boots On by Laurie Knowlton, illustrated by James Rice. Why Cowboys Sleep with Their Boots On. Slim Jim Watkins was one tired cowboy. Sliding out of his saddle, Slim Jim Watkins popped the dirt from his breeches. Seemed like he'd lassoed and branded more than 1,000 longhorn. All of this didn't mind him much. He just wanted to go to bed. So Slim Jim Watkins stripped off his clothes, all but his long johns, and crawled into his bedroll. No sooner did he lay his head on his cowboy hat than Slim Jim Watkins was sound asleep. Rise and shine, bellowed the chuck wagon cook. Slim Jim Watkins stretched and groaned and reached for his breeches. My breeches! They're gone! Slim Jim Watkins searched and searched, but he couldn't find his breeches. This is enough to sour a man's outlook for the day. Grumbling, Slim Jim Watkins slipped his chaps over his long johns and went to work. Darn, gripped Slim Jim Watkins. These long johns are wearing thin. I need my breeches. So after a long day's work, Slim Jim Watkins went to town to buy new denim breeches. It was dark when Slim Jim Watkins rode back to camp. He was a mighty tired cowboy. His bedroll was a welcome sight. Slim Jim Watkins stripped off all his duds, all but his long johns and his new breeches. Then he collapsed into his bedroll. No sooner did he lay his head on his hat than he was sound asleep. Rise and shine, roared the chuck wagon cook. Slim Jim Watkins stretched, yawned, and reached for his bandana. My bandana! It's gone! Slim Jim Watkins searched and searched, but could not find his bandana. Finally, he went to work. Darn, growled Slim Jim Watkins. He coughed and choked from the dirt riled up by the cattle. I need my bandana. That night, Slim Jim Watkins traded a week's worth of dishwashing for the cook's bandana. After doing dishes, Slim Jim Watkins was one tired cowboy. He stumbled to his bedroll and stripped off his duds, all but his worn long johns, new breeches, and new bandana. That night, he was so tired he forgot to lay his head on his hat. Soon after, the chuck wagon cook clanked his pot together and yelled, Rise and shine! Slim Jim Watkins stretched and, my hat! Where's my hat? Slim Jim Watkins jumped to his feet. Frantically, he searched. Losing my breeches and bandana is one thing, but to lose my hat is something else again. Get to work, boomed the trail boss. So Slim Jim Watkins went to work without his hat. Darn, beefed Slim Jim Watkins, when the blistering sun burnt his face. I need my hat. So Slim Jim Watkins rode into town to buy a hat. The smoke of the campfire rolled skyward to the stars as Slim Jim Watkins rode his weary horse into camp. Slim Jim Watkins was a tired cowboy. Oh, is my bedroll going to feel soft as a cow's underside tonight? Sitting beside his bedroll, Slim Jim Watkins started to pull off his boots. On second thought, he said, I'm going to sleep just the way I am. And he did. Boots